Pablo from Bolivia, and again, he has got his own personal story of seeing his country, poverty, and all of that stuff. So, welcome, Pablo from Bolivia. Woo!
Hi guys, so I'm Pablo. I'm 21 years old. I'm a junior research fellow at this think tank in Bolivia called Libera, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more of poverty in Bolivia. So, I'm a better writer than a speaker, so I got a little help here just in case I forget something. Sorry about that. Okay. So, poverty in South America is a problem that the government usually takes care of. This is the common approach that they give. So, they usually try to redistribute the money that private sectors generate, or they create government jobs that translates to more bureaucracy. But I think this is a solution to the problem, but first we should see what is causing the problem. And from my point of view, in Bolivia there are two causes that are causing poverty. Sorry about that. Okay. So, what are the determinants of poverty in Bolivia? The first thing is Bolivia is located at 4,000 meters above the sea level. So I think that's higher than the Grand Canyon. So I have pretty big lungs, if you might wonder. And this actually isolates Bolivia from a lot of the countries that are near us. And this makes trade really difficult for Bolivians because it increases the cost of production, it increases the cost of transportation, and it makes very difficult for countries to enter and exit Bolivia. So this is kind of a bummer when investors try to invest in Bolivia, so they get really discouraged because of that. Actually there's another geographical problem that Bolivia has had over the years. There was this war in 1879 called the War of the Pacific that took place with Chile and Peru, and this determined that Bolivia ended up landlocked, so this narrowed our possibilities to trade with other countries. So yeah, we don't usually, there was actually this trial that got really popular in Bolivia that took place in Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken. They tried to make Chile give some small port to Bolivia, some small space in the Pacific Ocean, and we didn't get it, so it was bad. Yeah, and the higher cost, so I was talking about this higher cost of production and the higher cost of transportation. So this narrowed our possibilities into focusing in only one sector of the economy, and Bolivia has been focusing only in mining these last few centuries, and this has been the main focus for the government. And here comes the other issue I think that causes poverty in Bolivia, is that the government is trying to board all these issues by itself, and they don't realize that they are actually causing poverty more than solving it. So there was this company in 1937 called Standard Oil. I don't know if you heard of it. Yeah, so it came actually to Bolivia, and they were exploring some oil spaces to go and extract the oil. And the Bolivian government, actually this was the first time in history that the Bolivian government nationalized Standard Oil, and this foreigner company became a Bolivian company out of nowhere. So that's something that happens also nowadays in Bolivia, and it discourages foreign investors to invest in Bolivia. So when you have a country that's geographically isolated, when the government wants to take care of everything, and when the government wants to take care of everything, I think that people find a spontaneous order to actually make the economy thrive. And this is seen in a small sector in Bolivia called the informal sector. And this has been growing a lot throughout the years. It's been growing a lot, it's been generating a lot of wealth. And I believe that if we advocate for the more freedom you give to people, the more wealthy the country will be. And I think a great example is Arizona. So I know you guys are not very impressed with your country because you live here, but I'm actually really impressed for all the stuff I see around. And that's what freedom is. And I hope that we can implement at some point in Bolivia. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Carlos Alfaro from Arizona Talks, and if you like conversations like these, be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and at our website at arizonatalks.org.